It's your boy Kool-Aid Man 100X and welcome to the Red Sea. How y'all guys doing? Before we jump into the video, make sure you visit the ebook store. I'll be on the link in the description below to get the Red Sea Offense and other ebooks that I got available. And also, if you want updates to these ebooks and stuff like that, make sure you go to the Patreon. That'll be available there, and get your subscribe on to get the updates and tips. So I'm going to be jumping into the play called Gun Bunch Offset, which will be the play double post. This play is going to be found out in, let me see here, which is going to be found out in our playbook for the double post is going to be the Indianapolis Colts and the Philadelphia Eagles. That's where you'll find this play at. The double post is a very good play. We're going to be going over running the stock like I always do for all my offenses. You can actually run this play stock if you want to. It's pretty good, depending on, how much time you got in the pocket, but it's usually opened up a lot and usually be opened up for a one-play touchdown mostly. So you can actually run this play stock. You really don't have to make any adjustments to it. So I'm going to run it prevent. So I'll switch up this real quick. A little place where you run prevent and go down. So to run double post, me in general, you can run this play stock if you want to, but me, I like to block the running back. The reason being is that when you block the running back, you can actually do it. Slide protect left. The running back go to the opposite side of the field, but you slide protect left. The next thing I would do if you want to make adjustment to this play is either you can put him on an out route depending on how the defensive plays. You put him on an out route. Or a lot of people, what I started to see is this zig route works a lot better in this game. And I don't know if you can, but you can, but I'll just say you can run a zig route on that left side of the field if you want to. Now you can keep that route as is. I don't like that cutting that route off of there. Keep Kelsey on there, but I would put circle on a drag. It's the only adjustment I would make to this play for the first adjustment. The reason I say that zig might be open, if not your second check down, it'll be circle. If not, if he throws the zig, that nice little screen play, you can actually open that up depending on that corner being defended, because you don't see a lot of people using corners. So you can take advantage of that too as well. So just like this adjustment here, you can actually run that to be a zig and put circle. And you can block the running back if you want to, totally up to you. But I like to put him on a block, and I like to slide protect left because the running back slips. Going into more in depth about that for the hidden coaching tips. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. A little bit more, it actually opens up R1, as you can see here, for that route too as well. So you can see that too. Cool thing about this play, I actually run it prevent. So we want to actually do something here. Run this way, run this way, run this way. Yeah. So the next thing you want to run is you'll be able to look for circle. Now, the cool thing about this is that you can put the running back on a flat route to the left, which is cool. You can actually fade him, so that open up that flat route more. And you can put R1 in a drag. Totally up to you, but I will re-slant him and put him in a drag. You can play with those routes. I think the slant better than a drag because you already got a flat, and then you already got Kelsey going out to a flat out route. So it's going to take too long for Kelsey to come out field, but if you wait, you'll be able to hit your flats automatically. But if you can't wait for Kelsey, you can do that as well. Re-slant him, put him in a flat to the left, and fade the wide receiver so I look like this. If first check down, linebacker really not going to catch up to him like that because he's going to be using the field a lot. So you can actually hit him on a flat for your second check down. If you wait a little bit longer, that slant will be open, but if you can't, just like I said, you can drag him. Just for a quick check now. So when you drag him, you got inside position, you'll be able to catch that for an extra 5 or 4 yards or whatever. Whole particular game is like I try to get a yard after each play. So you can fade him. Now, if that route takes too long, just like I said, you can drag him. If that route takes too long, it's depending on how you throw it, because sometimes Kelsey get jammed up just like that. But open the flat, you can hit him and get you a nice couple yards. Because it's like a flat street concept. So depending on how he plays it. So, but like I say, I like to put my running back in the slant, put him in the fade, and put R1 in the drag. This is my main setup for the second part. If he's open and he doesn't get it, you got that drag every time. If that drag's not open, you got that flat every time. If that flat not open, you got Kelsey. So depending on how you run this play, totally up to you. But this mixed down with a check down anyway, so you got to make sure that comes into play when you run it anyway. So mix it down with a check down. So yeah, depending on how you play it, it's totally up to you. So how can I put this? To run this play, it's more intuitive to run it, but just like I said, I like putting a running back on a block or a flat. The next reason I would say you can run this play is that you can actually take away that circle route. The reason I say you can take away that circle route is you can put them in a slant. Now, if you really want to go crazy with it, you can actually motion them over. Then you got this concept here. So if you put Scantling in a slat, you see how this play is set up. Now you got balance on both sides of the field. You got two flat routes, two flat end streak routes. Then you got a slant going across the middle. Then you got the out route. Now this play takes a little long to develop, but if you don't, you got to run it back for a check down if you don't have enough time. But if he waits just a little bit longer, he's open every time. Yeah, so you got 96 speed, so you see what I'm saying? It takes a little bit longer for the play to develop, but that's one of my adjustments too as well. I can get more in depth with that, with the motioning. But if you wait a little bit longer, you got time in the backfield, you'll be able to throw it. So, but just like I said, if you feel as though they're coming at you with a QB contain, you got that check down every time because they usually do not watch this route and it always be open. But if you wait a little bit longer and if he cuts, he taking off his full boost mode. And you got two routes here. So you got your block as you go. So, yeah. Another thing that you can do, just like I said, you can put him in a slant, put him in a flat. Then, just like I said with Kelsey, you can leave him there. Or, check this out, you can actually put him here. Now, this is like a short, low concept. It's the same identical thing, except this route is a little bit shorter. Now, just like I said, you got your two check downs, but if you wait just a little bit longer, he'll usually be open. But if it's depending on how the defender is guarding it. So you have to take that into account too as well. So after you do that, put Scantling in a slant. And your second read is going to be your slant. Your first read is going to be your running back. But this is for strictly out of bounds purposes if you need to get those yards. So if you cuts in, you can spec catch it if you can, as you can see there. It's a tight window, but it's depending on what type of quarterback you got. This is where it gets more interesting on how you throw your routes. So you want to take this into account on how you throw your routes. So if you wait a little bit, because they usually do not react. They do not user a lot of these players because you see how that slant, you already got inside positioning. So if you pass lead down to the corner, if he does not jump that route himself, you got your nice spec catch. Usually it'd be right in that hole mostly. So you got to take that into account too as well. Now this is where it gets a little antsy. So I would put him in a fade. Now this motion was kind of new to me because I was like, man, you can do a lot of stuff with this. So you got Kelsey, you can motion him over here. Now, the reason why this play is deadly because you got him here. So now you got a flood concept with Kelsey. They don't know what Kelsey is doing because Kelsey going under the offensive line. So as you can see here, it's risky because he might get bumped. But if he can pull it off, you see he can't pull it off. But if he pulls that route off enough times, you can turn it into a makeshift screen. The reason why I say that is that when he motions under, he's going under the offensive line. Now you can put him in a flat, put the running back in a flat just for adjustments, and you can put him in a slant. Or you can put him in a streak, totally up to you. He pretty much a freestyle player that you do. I usually like to fade. But if our focus is on him, if he gets under, see, nice low route. See what I'm saying? The reason why I say that, if he pulls that off perfectly, he pretty much get it, depending on how the defense is ran. If they send in 3, it'll work perfectly. If they send in 4, it's going to be a little difficult because it's not going to be able to get open. So you got to take that into account too as well. I'm going to try to run it now. You got 4 down linemen. Put the running back in a flat here. If he gets bumped, it's not going to be there. So you got your flat wide open. So if he get bumped, it's not going to be there. So that's a risk you take with that. So another thing that you can do is that Another thing that you can do here is that you can motion them over. If that route's not working a lot, you know what I'm saying? If it's not working, bam, we got the drag. So now you can actually mess with a little bit more stuff. So now this opens up Kelsey on the left side even better. So you can put them in a slant depending on how that player's running. So now you got Kelsey on the drag. So now this opens up the field even more. So it's depending on how you run it, you know. Double post. You can run double post as stock, double post as is. Another thing that you can do, you actually motion the wide receiver out and put him in a flat and run it just like this. Simple, easy adjustments. We don't know what you're doing. See, you got him wide open with a nice catch. Puts delay on the R1 route, so that's a pretty good route too, because opens up Hardman to delay that corner route off the stick. So put him in a flat. Your first check down is always going to be that running back. If they give me that running back, I'm hitting them every time. They give it to me, I don't care how close. If you're not using him, I'm going to get him every time. That's just my answer running this play, but you can actually motion him out and motion Rice over and motion that. So that's pretty much how I run this double post mostly. I just mix it up every time. So if you enjoyed this tip, I'm out of here, guys. Deuces.